Today we're going to be frost seeding some clover. I want to walk you through the steps, show you some really cool tools we have, and also explain why we're frost seeding clover today. Depending on where you are, you may have already frost seeded clover. Some of you may be waiting for the conditions to be right. Some of you may have planted a little too early and damaged those young seedlings, and you may not get a great stand. That's okay. Great thing about clover is you can always go in, fill in those gaps, follow up, even this time of year. Today we're frost seeding clover, and you may be thinking it's too late for that frost seeding. Grant and I were receiving questions in February, folks asking if it was time to frost seed, and we said we were waiting. We were going to wait until we had 1 or 2 frosts left and we had good soil moisture. That's what we're doing today. We've got a freeze warning in effect tonight. Temperatures are dropping. Just got a big dump of rain, close to 5 inches here at the Proving Grounds too. So we've got soil moisture. That rain really dropped the soil temperature. I'll share that in just a moment, but that's a key factor to keep in mind when you're thinking about planting your spring plots. But with that dump of rain, we waited, knowing there was going to be 5 inches. We weren't going, oh, rain's coming, let's go broadcast. We knew it was forecast to be a heavy dump of rain. So we waited. If we would have had seed on the ground, that seed would have washed away in many of the plots. But waiting till after the rain, we've got soil moisture. We're going to have that freeze-thaw with the last freeze or two. And it's going to be perfect conditions for those young clover seeds to come up and have a great stand of clover. If we would have frost seeded during late February, early March, we got a couple freezes, then it got warm. That seed would have germinated, would have looked great, but this frost that's coming and maybe another frost or two down the road, well, those young seedlings, if they've popped out of the ground, they're real vulnerable to frost. And a hard frost like we're getting tonight could have damaged those cells and resulted in a crop failure. That's why it's really important when you're frost seeding clover to wait until you only have that 1, maybe 2 hard frosts left in the forecast. Frost seeding works really well with clover because clover is a very small, hard seed. And with that thawing and freezing, it allows that seed to get into the ground, make perfect contact with soil, and work to break that seed and have great germination. But those large seeds, like those found in your warm season crop, well, you need to wait until the soil conditions get to about 60 degrees, a stable 60 degrees. Some guys are really excited to start planting their warm season crop, but just like here at the Proving Grounds too, we get that spring rain, that soil temperature can really drop. A warm season, large seed, it's going to need that soil temperature to be about 60 degrees at 9 a.m. That's the coolest part. Even into the morning, the soil's still cooling. After 9 a.m., it starts warming up. We get those spring rains, it can really drop soil temperature very quickly. Just like we have here, we had that 5-inch rain. I brought out the soil gun this morning, was looking at the soil, surface temperature was just a little over 50. That rain had definitely dropped the soil temperature. And in fact, when I go move a little dirt away, get to about 2 inches deep, hit that gun, it's even cooler. So just hold off. You need a stable 60 degrees. You may hit 60, but a rain cools it down real quick. That can get really cold for those large, weak seeds. But the soil conditions today are perfect for frost seeding. This is a little hidey hole food plot on this ridge. It's been cleared. There's not a lot of competition for the clover, so it should come up really well. This is going to be an experimental clover blend with several different species from Green Cover Seed. Clover is going to do best in an area where there's not a lot of competition, just like this area that's recently been cleared. But you can also add clover in areas that may already have a crop established or some native vegetation. It may not be as thick of a stand, but it'll come up in the gaps and still provide high quality forage and add a legume to help pump nitrogen in the soil. You've probably seen in past videos, and you may have one of those real small hand spreaders for planting clover. Man, your hand will cramp up fast. But today I'm really excited because I've got a Hooyman broadcaster, and it's electric, battery powered. I'm just gonna put the seed in, pull the button on the handle, get all my settings right, and take off. I'm super excited because this is gonna make quick work, and I'm just gonna be walking, and it's gonna do all the work, spreading the seed and getting good coverage. No more of those little turns trying to get clover on the ground. Loving this Hooyman broadcaster. Of course, the battery makes it really nice. I'm not cranking, really, not using the little spreader, using my hand like this. Takes the weight off. This harness is great because it just sits perfectly, and just have to pull the trigger on the handle, pull it back, and it just fires right up. For this clover seed, I'm running it on a 1 setting, playing with that 25, little lower % coming out, and then I'm watching my gauge here. I can kind of set this gate, whether it's going to be a real narrow spread, or I can open this up and get a wider spread. So playing with that just a little bit, kind of finding what I like, how much I want to spread out, find my next line when I come back around, and super easy. And I gotta tell you, I'm in clover seed, we're only putting, there's a few pounds out on these little hidey holes, but come, spring planting, when we're planting our warm season crop, that green cover seed super summer blend, this is gonna be really nice. It can hold up to 35 pounds in here, put all that weight. We got the, great harness. It actually detaches right here, slides right in like that, and you just slide it right down there. And it helps hold all that weight, keeps everything compact, and it's really nice. Walking up and down these Ozark Mountains with a bunch of seed, think about going in those little hidey holes. You don't want to carry a big, bag of seed with you. Those hidey holes are in places where, maybe a little 2-track or even a walking trail are, and you just load this puppy up with seed, go to your hidey hole, and do the work. So I'm loving this. Adding in SP Prime from SoilPro Outdoors. It's a natural additive. This is gonna help these seeds get off to a great start. It just kind of kick-starts them, gets them, those nutrients they need right at germination to help them get out of the ground actually a little earlier. Helps pull some nutrients that really help those young seedlings get off to a great start. Just like we were talking about, we don't want that frost to damage our seedlings. It may kill them or set them back. They'll just never reach their full potential. Giving this little Kickstarter is going to let those seeds germinate, get off to a great start so they can produce the best forage they can. So just a little additive here. We're adding this to, even our hidey holes later on, some different things. And our larger food plots have really liked the microbes, adding that to improve our soil health. Getting those microbes working for us, that's the biggest thing we can do. It's hard because you can't see the microbes, but man, the benefits they have on the soil and the forage, it goes a long way for producing the best forage for healthier deer. So just adding this in, we're gonna keep on rolling. Just a little more on this plot, and we'll be going on to the next one. We've shared this before, but even with this battery-powered spreader, make sure you cover every inch. Make sure you go north and south and east and west. Man, that makes sure you get great coverage, don't have any holes in that clover plot. We'll be sharing more tips and techniques for broadcasting your hidey holes. We'll be using the Hooyman, share when we're broadcasting, how we're doing it, to get a great stand of summer forage in our hidey holes to prepare, help grow some antlers, help get those deer conditioned to feeding on your property, those little hidey hole locations to hunt over. And that all goes into our hunting strategy, and it all starts this spring getting ready for fall. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe to the Growing Deer page. It's been great getting out of the office today, had some rainy days, sunshine today, doing a little work in the field. I hope you're able to get outside, do some work, maybe scout for some turkeys, but no matter how you're enjoying creation, slow down, listen to the Creator and the purpose He has for your life. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.